Hello, I'm Bjorn. I work as mobile journalist for NDR Norddeutscher Rundfunk, which is a part of ARD German television, and I'm head of our news lab. Here are my very simple three mojo tricks. Number one is always clean your lens. I always tend to forget. Number two is always put your phone in flight mode so a call doesn't disrupt the best scene you've ever shot. And the third trick is also very simple. While looking at all the gear you could buy or thinking about all the apps you could use, never lose the creativity, never lose the scope on what story you want to tell. The phone puts you in a position where you can get closer to people, where you can tell different stories, where you can find different angles, different perspectives on the thing or the person you're shooting. So that is something you should really explore and that you should really see as a chance of mobile journalism. The phone has limitations, but it has also great advantages. So these are my tricks. Enjoy mobile journalism. I do a lot.
All right, where's everybody? Hello? Finally. I can hear you. I can hear you. You're online.
Okay, here it is.
Good, man. I'm all right. Where's Rudy?
Not seen him yet. Hold on. I see I can give him a shout. He confirmed something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he is looking for Skype or something. Let me just. So things.
I'm all right, man. I'm all right.
See, so thing I said, yeah, really bringing up yourself, man.
Yeah, well, Rudy could I wouldn't make this too long because if they're too long, they're hard to edit. So 45 minutes. He could explain what he's trying to say in plain English.
Rudy. Okay, we waiting for you. Okay. You got the link? Google Hangout? Nigel.
Yeah?
He's not trying to find his way. He's on his system, Nigel. Oh.
Okay.
So you log in, make sure you click
Yeah.
to allow, and then it should be in. There's a little white box here, click also, see it? At the bottom. Mm-hmm. Blocked. What happened when you click? Two of us in here waiting for you. Mm-hmm.
Rudy, we did this already, man.
Yeah, apparently he's having some problems in logging on. He said I've used it before, Nigel, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you used this before. This ain't new.
This Google Hangout. And you're there. I mean, your name, you just had to press that and come on.
He clicked on the invite that was sent to his email.
You saw the invite that was sent to your email? That's what you click on that, Nigel. So.
Yeah, well, then you should be straight in because it's exactly the same process as you.
You go back to your original email. You click there. Once you click there, it should be indirect.
Yeah.
We have a short time span, no? We have a long time. Nigel, you have Rudy's number?
No. What's the problem with his computer?
Yes, okay. I think he closed it. He select allowed. Or what happened?
Should be in. There's
Start a video call.
yeah.
And then,
Just join the call in progress.
and join the call, yeah. Yes. No, it should be it should be just click allowed and in. Okay, now I'll just type Rudy's number there and you can call him and talk him through it. 1 second. Rudy, I'm hanging up. Nigel call you. Hold on. Ay.
Rudi Page is saying he is here, but he's not on the video call. All right, so 1 second. All right, we're just supposed to be call now. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you're here.
Nigel.
Yes, I really.
Apologies.
It's okay.
How you doing?
We won't spend too many time on preliminaries because I don't have a huge amount of time left. So I think I better get off screen. So let's get into today's discussion. As we can, because I'll need to wrap this up by 8 o'clock. I don't have too much time.
Okay.
So what were we talking about? What were we talking about, Dennis?
Okay, Rudy, first to begin, let me congratulate you for the work you've been doing in diaspora in terms of the diaspora engagement as a management consultant. And it's fantastic to have, obviously you have been part of SEN for quite a while. You have been with us for a number of years, been on a team with the stock exchange, and so we look at you as a critical part of this whole format going forward. And as you know, what we're looking to do now is to forge a diaspora mentorship group, which of course, it'd be great to get you involved and to tell us what are some of the things you're doing with this new position that you have had here. So first, let's back up and let's quickly give us an overview of that, Nigel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, so let's tell us about this international engagement one, and in light of what the Minister of Tourism said on the papers today in the Observer about coming after the diaspora for investment.
Right. I haven't seen that particular item.
Okay, well, in today's Observer. So quickly, give us an overview quickly, and then make a link of on how our new engagement with regards to getting a platform for diaspora mentorship, linking with the things that you're doing, and of course the whole new animal that have been founded, the Economic Growth Council. And if you give us an overview for how you see all these things manifesting going forward, to develop not only Jamaica but the Caribbean.
The Caribbean as a whole. Well, I guess the starting point is the development of the Caribbean diaspora delivery system, really. And the approach was that we need to have a digital transformation of the traditional diaspora leadership management and involvement models. And really we need to focus strategically on leadership, communication, leadership, governance, structure, and implementation. And then what we've got is 3 work streams. So international trading services, workforce development, global health and wellness, and we've now added community tourism. And basically, if you think of the sector development, the products and services that are required to deliver within those sectors, it's just a question of breaking down what are the supply chains, what are the value chains, and being able to get hold of people who are working in those areas and are capable of collaborating. So they're focused on delivering that a product of an effective or competitive product or service to the marketplace. And our role really as a system was to help channel that thinking. So it's just really a conceptual framework, but you have to be organized in the marketplace. That's really what we've done. And then you then have to think of the economic growth.
Rudi, you're fading out. Have you stepped away from your microphone?
No.
Now you're back.
Oh, okay. I don't know what
think
happened
you
there.
probably moved a little bit away from your microphone and you dropped straight off. I've been trying to compensate by boosting the volume, but you dropped straight off.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So getting back to your point so that's the background to the framework. So we focus on sector development, and a lot of it is to do with the knowledge and skills of individuals. So for instance, if you take community tourism, which is a sector that we're working on now, there's already a lot of people involved in tourism. But one of the challenges is to link the supply chains and come up with a good competitive product, communicate clearly to the market. So these take different skills. Some of those skills I guess we have in abundance here in the UK. So it's team building. What underlines all this is team building and understanding, cohesion.
Okay, I'll come back to that, but quickly, let's go back a bit. to the beginning and break down in very layman term what the definition of digital transformation in your mind is.
Yeah, and what that's about now, because one of the challenges,
Everybody in coronation market.
yeah, one of the challenges that we have from a Caribbean perspective, that we haven't yet developed the kind of operating systems that we're used to in the normal market circumstances, and firms that are all connected doing different things in order to get the goods to the market. That's why Jamaica's thrust on the logistics hub or logistics centered economy is quite important, because all you're really saying that you need to get goods to the market on time to customers, and the people who enable that need to collaborate, and they need an effective means to do that. And of course, at the moment, technology is driving change and disrupting markets, and can make things a lot easier. But you need to think about it. So we need to kind of get those people who are working in technology to actually be part of those of us who are thinking about market solutions. So that's what we really mean by the digital transformation. And also, of course, looking around, how are other people utilizing these new digital platforms that are all over the place?
All right, just pause a little bit now. Give me a classic example of a digital technology engagement that somebody selling in the market.
Yeah, well, I guess the most, from a layman's, you've got, look what Amazon's done, look what eBay's doing, those other sort of platforms. Look what Uber's done. I guess Uber's always cited as a good example. And there's other platforms, and think of an app. We've got lots of people working on apps, but what we kind of need, the people who've got the technical skill on building apps, to actually work with the people who've got products to sell in the marketplace. And that's that collaboration.
My issue with this, Rudy, is that we've had similar conversations for the last 30 years. What's different this time?
I wasn't discussing this 30 years ago.
Well, so you are the different thing then.
I think 30 years ago.
No, don't feel bad if.
No, I don't feel bad at all.
It's a goal that we need to take us over the top. Then let's just claim it. Is it Rudi Page?
It's my ability to bring ideas, people together, and to focus.
So you're going to make the Caribbean great again.
So it's the leadership. It's the leadership and the management skills.
So make the Caribbean great again. Page 2020.
Rudy,
yes.
I hear you.
Leadership.
But listen, we want to make this something that the person who log on to this will understand clearly, and give some examples of how they can use technology and transform the little small business. Talk about, let's be granular with this focus. Let's be on the ground as you talk about community tourism and community business. So be careful in your mind when you're talking. We're discussing this. We are talking to a bunch of micro business.
Yeah.
Guy have a tailor shop. You want to have a dressing salon, that kind of thing. And we want to take, because you must remember the pyramid in Jamaica and at that level, the granular level.
Well, so question before you respond, Rudy. Are you necessarily aiming at those sorts of businesses? Because I wouldn't want you to have to articulate a solution for a product or a market you don't intend to serve.
Right, and that's a good question. What I would say to both of you is that I think it's too early in the pathway for you to want to. It's like when you're developing policy, and when you implement it, sometimes you have to wait till you've implemented it, and then you articulate it through a case study, this is what we did, this is what we found, this is what we did, this is what we learned, and that's what you articulate. That's what you articulate to people, and who want to ask you, well, how do you get over that obstacle? So I think what you're asking, which I understand, is too early in the cycle, much too early, because we're still rising up. Because remember, we're breaking in, particularly as Caribbean people, we're breaking in into a system that's already there, and bringing ourselves in, our knowledge and skills, and then forming something that's cohesive, that in the end can be productive. So
I hear you, Rudy. I'm looking at a bottom-up approach as opposed to a top-down approach. You give me a top-down approach, and I hear what you're saying.
No, hold on a sec, Dennis. Hold on a sec. What I'm explaining to you, that we are still constructing the framework. So all we've done is lay out the framework, laid out the foundation. What are the policies, and what is the conceptual framework? That's all. That's what I'm responsible for, and that's what I set out always. And then within that framework, you then start to see the development and the delivery of goods and services, trading and transactions.
Fair enough. So by what time you think the framework will be laid out?
So you will start to see deliverables then, which tend to be market-led deliverables from this, will start to be seen over the next 3 to 6 months with this particular initiative. Now, some of the services are already there in the market, but a number of them need a value to be added to them. So if you think, some people are making products, and maybe they needed to be labeled better, maybe they need a website. There's a number of needs based on whatever the business support assessments have been of those businesses, particularly if they're going to take advantage now of a focus that will say, hey folks, there's now a market demand for your goods or services, whatever they may be, but there's a certain level that the customers require, whether it's the labeling or whatever. So I think for what I'm doing, it's too early in the process, unless it's people who have to think about how are we going to put structures in place to support enterprise. This is the time for those sorts of people to be in the kind of discussion that we're having now, in my opinion.
Fair enough. So we'll check in with you in 3 months to see how much closer we are to market. Would that be, could we book you from now?
Yeah, no, and that would be fair, because then I would be able to look back and say, right, from the time we sent out that release, a good example, when I came to this organization last week, I said, we have to align policies with what's going on in the world. So next year is the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development. So I said, well, we need to align with that. You need to think about, what does that mean? The key things are travel, enjoy, respect. What does that mean to the people in your supply chain? And and that has got people thinking and aligning their activities, following that policy line.
Okay.
Travel, enjoy, respect.
Yeah, so they're the three key things for the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development. So it's very clear. It's talking about the UN Sustainable Development Goals, which everybody's focused on. Even the World Bank says trade and services, and delivering them on time helps reduce poverty. So again, we need to think about that. How can we improve? Because obviously, if you're trading, you're generating jobs, you're generating business. People can take their children to school. But it's the support structure, whether it be the education, business education, whether it be business support and learning, that has to be put in place. So the organizations or the institutions that are responsible for that should have a policy for supporting entrepreneurship, whether it's social or whether it's, you know, outward market-led trading.
Back to the okay. I hear you on the policy structure. I want to go back to some simple takeaways.
Yeah,
A small business can use
yeah,
where you are operating at the policy level.
yeah.
I want you to come down a couple notches
Okay.
and sort of get me to identify how, when I get up in the morning and I put my stall out there, what are some of the things that I can engage with within your policy framework
Okay.
I can use now. You can give me some user friendly. This is where
Yeah.
I think, you know, this is some of the items you can use to, you know,
Yeah.
to get within that framework.
Yeah. The number one. The number one.
Transformation.
Yeah. The number one is collaboration. Working together.
Good.
So thinking about how you can work with, whether it's your supplier or whether it's somebody who you can pool resources. Pool resources. Yes, we know there's competition, but there's ways of collaborating.
How is collaboration a goal, though?
Sorry?
How is collaboration a goal? I mean, what will this collaboration achieve?
No, I'm saying that in response to Dennis's point, in terms of if you've got a small business, because a lot of the time it's if you're running any business, you need suppliers, whether it's of your goods or it's other skills, and you can think of ways of collaborating in order to get some of the needs that you have in order to deliver your service or your product. If you can pool your resources or collaborate, improve your way of collaboration, that can have benefits.
So you're collaborating with your suppliers?
Yeah, I'm just including suppliers, but I'm talking about anybody who has to supply you a service or a product, or anybody who you need to add value to whatever it is that you're going to sell.
Right. So let's say, for example, we're in the sustainable tourism, community tourism domain.
Yeah.
How would those collaborations play out?
I would imagine, I guess, if you were to take a village, right? It's almost a village is like a sector. So let's say it's in everybody's interest who's got a business in the village to make that a welcoming place to visit. And let's just say, you know, we all contributed to beautify the area. You know, that would be one way of collaborating, because at the end of the day, if more people stop in our village rather than drive through, regardless of what we're selling, that would be of benefit. But if we all said, you know what, I'm not going to beautify the village, then that could hurt all of us. That's just the most simple way to look at it, I think, because what we want is more people to stop in the village. The more people who stop in the village and look around, there's more chance that we've all got to sell. So it's in our interest to collaborate, even though it may appear on the surface that we're competitive. Actually make it better for all of us, right? Staying longer, spending more.
Well, I really shouldn't be rated too much. The ideas have come from a good place. So let's see how it unfolds. And you know, I'm sure as you talk with more people and they talk to you, you'd have a model that
Exactly.
we could discuss in some more detail, because it's slightly unfair to you. Because I, as you know, I'm very, very cynical. So
Of course.
I have 1,000,001 arrows I can throw at you. But that's fish in a barrel. I could do that anytime, any place. That's just
Exactly.
too easy. So
Exactly.
it's more fun if you're adequately prepared.
Exactly. More than
So
two.
I prefer that the initiative grows a bit further,
Yeah.
and gets a bit fatter and a bit more fleshed out. So, because the other thing too, I mean, joke aside, it's also easier for me to sell in my networks.
Yeah.
If if um if there's a concrete thing or a framework or decision area that you could tell me that, okay, these are the points of difference, this is what we're aiming at, this is what we're doing, that is
Yeah.
easier for me to sell in my networks and amplify what it is you're doing.
Yeah.
So this is not just an exercise. This is not court, and Dennis and I are not attorneys grilling you and looking for a weak spot to take you down.
No, but I like the intellectual challenge, because at the end of the day, all these things still have to be thought about. And of course, as you know, it's where are we in the journey? Are we talking about where
I
we
think one of
are?
my challenges with a lot of discussions I have with, um, I mean, particularly the ideas from Caribbean, because there was a group back in Trinidad that was doing innovation and they did feature studies and so on, but they took ideas from one context and put it in the Caribbean
Mm,
and put the blinders on and pretended that the world didn't exist. This is what I like to call peekaboo logic. Close your eyes, the world disappears.
yeah,
So by pretending the context of Trinidad and Tobago didn't exist, you could say all sorts of wonderful things. You could launch incubators, you could
yeah,
start that, you could
yeah,
have workshops, you could get ministers in. Wonderful. But 5 years down the line, you actually haven't gotten anything done.
yeah,
And the same cold-hearted cynics like myself who
yeah,
sat on the sideline, I know our voices get kind of low. It's not gonna work. It's not good. So we are, our old cynics, because we've seen this before.
yeah,
They're old yellow papers in UA Library from the 80s with these same ideas.
yeah.
So we could tell you about the 86 and the 91 and the 97 and the 2001 plans. That didn't work. But,
Yeah, and
a prophecy. So my thing to you is that there's a history and a context that shouldn't be ignored. And while great new ideas are wonderful and they're absolutely needed, um, and you shouldn't have to temper your vision. That's not what I'm saying at all. You should be as ambitious as you want to be. Just be aware that you exist in a context and there's a reality that will crash in sooner or later. And the earlier reality crashes in, the better for everybody concerned. The more value
yeah, and
everyone. Right.
I understand that. And obviously, I've been involved in Caribbean business in one way for the last 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess for me, my advantage all the time is because my my area of expertise is policy implementation, program delivery. So if I'm involved in something, whatever happens, it's going to be delivery, regardless of how difficult the domain is, because the thinking and the structural thinking will work
You
out.
see, the trouble is, Rudy, that policy is not an end in itself.
No, that's why I said
So
program.
I could write a policy that gets delivered.
No, that's why I said program delivery. For that.
I could write a program that gets delivered.
No, but yeah,
But at the end of the day, I haven't created another job or created more employment or increased incomes. I can certainly live a program.
mm,
And that's the challenge, Rudy. That's why I interjected and push you to think granularly, because that is where you can take some takeaways and some outcomes. So at the end of the day, Granny in Coronation Market will get our moment, and then she can be able to do her things more efficiently. And Susan, who doing the hairdressing, and my boy with the barber shop and the shoemaker shop, they can then be more effective when they bring it down to their daily chores, and the whole community thing starts to develop. And that's my big challenge with
and that's my point about you. I still go back to my point. You have to wait until you can case study these things. you know, let's go through the process. Going back to the point you said earlier on, let's go through the process, and then we look back and I say, listen, you guys, this is what we face, and this is why we didn't do that or couldn't do that, and we did something else instead, whatever it might be. Or no doubt, when I speak to you, I will tell you, well, this is why we were successful.
That's quick, let's jump aside on the side now and talk about this new initiative in Jamaica, Economic Growth Council.
Yeah.
Which apparently you have some sort of attachment to also.
Yeah.
Are we into policy on that also?
What my role is in that, I'm focusing on the recommendation around harness the power of the diaspora. And my role within that is very much about the awareness and improving understanding, but also bringing forward what diaspora projects exist and programs that want to have some impact on Jamaica. Even some ongoing investments that have already gone in, like in the health sectors. The dialysis center, the new one that's in Montego Bay.
Right.
I'm helping some linkage between them and the NHS.
Right.
In Antigua next week, Minister of Health coming to London, and we're handing over a mobile blood collection unit for Antigua. But also I'm going to be involved in the setting up of a public health lab in Antigua. Yes. So there's some, I'm using that. I'm saying Antigua. I know you asked about Jamaica, but I'm just talking about
Caribbean
projects from here, from the diaspora led, that have an impact on the Caribbean.
The reason for that question is to get you now focused on what we want to establish in this conversation.
Right.
And that is a very simple, basic tool that will be very effective within your whole policy framework. And that is in putting together a diaspora mentorship program.
Right, okay.
Very simple. This mentorship, the diaspora mentorship program, is designed to pull people like yourself and other key talent, to have you there to give some sort of mentorship as part of SEN, mentorship guidelines, and get the program tighter as we collaborate and send information to the granular level where we can get small business, meaning SMEs, up to scratch. So that is where we're going to identify yourself as one of the elite mentors in this whole SEN. So that is this is supposed to be the introduction to that tool. So that's why I'm glad you brought this particular item up, and then this is what we want to engage yourself in. One of the SEN elite mentorship to get this going. Nigel, you want to add to that?
Well, I think the overall idea really is that we're trying to connect diaspora talent to Caribbean businesses just as you are, but on a volunteer and an episodic basis rather than the larger scale project that you have, because the professionals that we have in the SEN network, the ones who are engaged, tend to have their own areas of expertise, and in fact most of them have their own businesses. So clearly they're not up in sticks and moving to Antigua or something soon. Except for retirement, but that's a different story. But where they're willing to give their time is trying to help, and this is where we dovetail you, helping small businesses enter international supply chain.
Yeah, good.
Because that those connections are made by actors. They're not made by technology. They're not made by packaging. They're not made by water. They're made by people. So if you want to get to sell into Tesco, you need to know somebody in Tesco. Who can then tell you what Tesco's requirements are, so when you pitch, you'll know. So we have diaspora professionals in finance and real estate, events, media, and those are the people we want to work with as part of the mentorship program to look for small organizations who might be looking to either upscale within the Caribbean regional domain or who are thinking of exporting outside of the Caribbean, and allowing these mentors to provide their time for a period. So it's project and objective based. So it's a 2 or 3 month engagement in kind of specific history with a mentor to improve that aspect of the operation.
Yeah. It's providing some insight, isn't it?
Come again?
Some insight. It's also providing some insight.
Well, the insights go both ways. I mean, from the professionals, and that's what good mentorship is. It's a learning process on both sides. You know, it's not one person telling the other what to do.
No, yeah.
That's kind of pointless. But a genuine exchange of information and ideas and perspectives enriches both the mentor and the mentee.
Yeah,
So-
and I like that because I'm about this knowledge-driven, this knowledge transfer that goes backwards, forwards, and backwards. You know, really important. Yeah.
So we want to put you on this team as one of the elite mentors. So we just want to confirm or sign off on that.
Yeah, I'm happy to be involved. Just email me the details, whatever it is. No problem.
Thank you.
Nigeria. Yeah. So that's the core of what we're going to be doing going forward. Just getting this mentor program going, and then try to hopefully get some outcomes from it. With again, the focus is on just, as Nigel outlined, getting information.
You're breaking up, Dennis.
Yeah. Be a conduit, holding hands and getting SMEs up to scratch. Yeah?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, like I say, just send me the details.
Definitely.
Right. Nigel, want to wrap up? Or?
Yeah, I guess I could wrap up at this point because we don't want it to take too long. The longer the video is, the more effort it takes to edit it. So there's that practical constraint. I think it was good getting an overview of this, Rudi, and we'll send you the edited video once it's out, and you might take the segments that you may or may not want to share around again with your segment. Feel free to edit it. We have no issue about that.
Okay.
We'll also share it in our group and with the people that we know. I've got our website or contact details. You could email me to add to this initiative or nothing. You don't have a place yet.
I can do, because it's all on my Making Connections Work website, but I can send you the direct link to the page.
Please do. Since we got this Sun website updated, we could stick that somewhere, Dennis.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Good.
We put it in there along with the video. So, people wouldn't have to hunt around this Rudi Page or whatever. If they got more interest, they can follow. And in terms of a call to action, and I really should end with these sort of things, is are you looking for any particular people or resources to help your initiative? Because we know what we're looking for ours, but are you looking for any particular assistance from the SEN community that could be of value?
I will know over the next couple of weeks. I'll be able to answer that.
All right. So then I guess once that's kind of clear, you'll get back to us and we'll put a call out.
Exactly. Because I know, even though it is Caribbean wide as well, and I've heard of various people from the other islands, so it would be. I know that there will be some capacity building support required around getting this Caribbean. There's still this thing, I know we've touched on it before, there's still this thing of how we pool Caribbean resources, and then, as you say, then translates into something of value that everybody feels it's been worthwhile.
One from 10 leaves.
We got to construct that, though.
One from 10 leaves. 1 from 10 leaves.
10.
Mr. Page. You'd want to check
Like,
it.
you know, Federation.
Yes, well, we'll come back to a federation one day. One generation will say, you know what, we should be in federation. You know that.
I'll
And then-
dub in
and then-
some parts of the Caribbean man at the end, I think, would be appropriate.
Yeah, you're going wrong the boat, you know, you do a federation, then somebody want to Brexit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then somebody want to build a wall somewhere.
Yeah, it's true.
In the Caribbean, that's too expensive. You can't
Yeah.
afford to build the walls.
Yeah.
We can't
Area.
produce enough cement. We can't produce enough
Not
cement.
Not enough concrete for that one. For those guys.
Use the sea.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. So thanks everybody for checking in. We'll check in with you in a couple of months again as when I'm finished editing, send it across to you. As you've defined your interests and your needs a bit more, please get back in touch with us and we'll see how Sen can assist.
Yeah, I will do. Great. All right.
Good. So have a good night.
And you. Take care. See you. Yeah. See you, Dennis. Take care.
All right. Bye. All.
Okay then, really take it.
Bye.
Bye.